So I've just come across a video that I kind of want to talk about. It's a preacher who I've spoken about a lot before, but this is actually on a different channel, Cup of Joe podcast, I don't know. But yeah, it's titled God Isolates Chosen Ones from Prosperity for a Reason. I am God. I am God in human form, and I talk to my higher self through the internet, through time and space, and it's all the proof is on my Facebook page. But I'm sure I'm also adding stuff onto my Facebook page that's just random and probably doesn't seem that impressive, and I think my higher self is doing that, so if anyone does come across my page, they would be like, oh, this girl's just talking shit, rather than actually look through the evidence. And I found someone else yesterday who seemed like he liked reading, and I told him, I'm God, the Bible's not my book, go and look on Facebook. And he just responded, I'm unlikely to do that, because why would I listen to your book when surely if you were God, you would have got your book out by now. And it's just like, yeah, if I were God, I would have got my book out by now. So why the fuck haven't I? Why the fuck is no one helping me? Why the fuck is no one doing anything but just doing whatever they want to do? And it's really, really frustrating, because I can't answer this question. I can't answer the question as to why no one is wanting to help God. I do not know why people do not want to help God. I do not know why people don't want to talk to me, don't want to tell me what they're doing. I don't know why they are doing this. And I have to live in this constant hell because I am constantly looking at everyone else who are doing things for me, but not actually doing anything to help me, because nothing they are doing is helping me, because all people are doing is ignoring me. And I'm living in total hell all day long. My mind is not in a good state because I despise the human species, and I want them off this planet because I hate them all. But the problem is, how am I going to get an army of people to fight against themselves? I mean, that's very easy. That's why there's so many problems in the world, but no one seems to... I don't know. I'm watching this video because it's just another idiot who doesn't know me, isn't on my side, isn't trying to connect to me. He's just too busy believing that he's one of the righteous ones, and he's looking at other people who have more than him, and he's thinking, why is God helping them and not me? When really I'm looking at him thinking, well, this video has 167,000 views, and it's not even posted by him, it's posted by someone else. So someone else has posted his video and has given him lots and lots of fame, and yet when it comes to my videos, I only get 30 hits, which I don't believe is the truth. I think that whoever's hiding me is deliberately changing the numbers to make it look like no one's watching my videos. And so why is it that this guy is complaining that no one is helping him, and that all the abundance is going to other people, when in reality someone is helping him? This Cup of Joe podcast is just posted, this Cup of Joe, this is not posted by him, it's posted by someone else, and he's complaining that no one's helping him, when really I'm the one who should be complaining that no one's helping me.
At some point struggle with. At least the vast majority of us have all asked this question, and it's this: how can an infinitely powerful God be good, be righteous, be holy, and yet let the righteous to go unrewarded, to go through trials and difficulties, and let the wicked, on the other hand, prosper and be in abundance?
Well, I'm God. I can answer that question. The reason why this is happening is because no one wants to help God. I am God. I'm not all powerful. I'm not all infamous and almighty. I'm someone who's lying on a bed, confused as to why no one wants to talk to me, why no one wants to support me, why no one wants to help me. And you are not someone who wants to help me, because I would contact you and you would just ignore me, because that's all you've ever done. You are not on my side, and I would love to have an interview where I actually speak to you face to face and prove that you are someone who would just mock and scoff and not care about me.
So let's answer the question: is being a Christian a waste of time?
Yes, it is a waste of time, because it's worshipping the Antichrist.
So you do need Psalm 73 in front of you. So we're going to start with Psalm 73 and verse 2, if you look at that with me, please. But as for me, my feet had almost stumbled. My steps had nearly slipped. So here Asaph shows us a picture.
So this is a picture of me and how I can't get out of bed, how I'm stuck in bed all day just complaining over the things that I'm seeing online.
Here he is, he's on a slippery mountain slope. This is what he's picturing, and it's raining, and there's no steadiness there, and he looks over the cliff edge.
I can't see it, but it is raining
Seeing
outside.
right down at the bottom is a sheer drop, and there, I believe, is the valley of unbelief. And Asaph is saying, I'm just one step away from slipping down and falling.
I'm one step away from committing suicide.
Into unbelief. But what was the issue that Asaph was struggling with? Look at verse 3. He says, "For I was envious of the boastful when I saw the prosperity of the wicked."
So this guy is a wicked person. He doesn't know me. He thinks he knows me. He thinks he's helping me, but he's not. He's got someone who's posted his video, and he's got 167,000 views. 1,000. I don't know if you can see it. This bit clip. He's obviously got a nice camera. He's got a nice setting. What have I got? I'm lying in a fucking ugly bed with my pillows all fucked up because I don't give a shit enough to change them. And this guy is just preaching about how he's like he's the Asaph. He thinks he's the Asaph. He thinks he's the one who's suffering.
Here he sees the foolish man, the foolish people, the wicked.
This is the foolish man. This is the foolish man who has a lot more than me.
People, the people who have no care for God. Later he talks about the people who
so I'm God.
To mock God, talking about the Most High in disrespectful ways. And yet these people, even though they disrespected God,
this video doesn't
they
work
were thriving.
You try and press it and it doesn't stop. But yeah, so yeah. This person is one of the foolish, and he doesn't give a shit about me. He does not care. He would see me as just being a random nobody. That's all he would see me as.
The foolish man, the foolish people, the wicked people, the people who have no care for God. Later he talks about the people who are willing to mock God, talking about the Most High in disrespectful ways. And yet these people, even though they disrespected God...
He's insulted Jezebel, he's insulted all the female characters of the Bible. He would mock me, he would say that I'm of the devil. That's exactly what he would do.
They were thriving.
Yeah, he's thriving. He's got, like 167,000 views, a nice camera, much better setting. He's doing well in life. He can get out of bed. He doesn't have to worry about, I don't know if his funding, he's probably getting funding for this. He's probably got money. He's probably got help and support. And look at all the how many comments has he got? 700. This was pasted a day ago. It was posted 1 day ago, and he's got 600 views on this video. Computer's shit. But yeah, there's 578 comments on his video, and this video was only posted one day ago. I've been posting thousands of videos. Most of them get like 30 views, about one comment, and it's usually, I don't know, there's a couple of people that seem to give me a heart emoji, and then but I'm confused about them because they usually say, oh yeah, I believe you, and yeah, we're just waiting for the rapture, and then they send me a link about the Bride of Christ and proof that they think that the Bride of Christ is not just me but millions of people.
It seemed like they were better off, and it seemed like...
They're better off. This guy's better off. He's got hundreds of comments on videos that weren't even posted by him.
Okay, if you ignore God, you ignore his commands, you are going to be successful in this life. And Asaph, he looked at this, and he was jealous.
I'm jealous.
Then turn to verse 5 with me. They are not in trouble as other men, nor are they plagued like other men. You see, these wicked people, these unbelievers who mocked God, they didn't have the same troubles that other men had. They didn't have the same troubles as the believer. No, they were in abundance. In verse 7, it then goes on to say, they have more than their heart could wish.
So people like this have more than their hearts can wish, because all they want is to be saved. They are just looking for a false Christ, a false Messiah, an almighty God, an all-powerful God. I want help. Now, I don't actually need to go to a food bank, but I feel like I'm so desperate to try and prove that there's someone in this world that gives a shit about me that I feel like I want to go to a food bank just to have a bit of proof that there is people that give a shit about me, and there isn't. There isn't.
Could you imagine that? If every desire in your heart, evil or good, if all the desires in your heart were there and you had more than you could even wish, could you imagine that in your life? And yeah,
So this guy thinks that he hasn't got that much in his life, and that he needs more. He's talking about how he wants more. He's looking for a saviour, an almighty God, an all-powerful one, and he doesn't think that all the things that he's got in his life mean anything, because he's just waiting for the saviour to give him more than he already has. He has plenty of stuff. I mean, he looks fine. He looks well. He looks like he's got followers and supporters and helpers, and most of the comments are supportive. Doesn't matter what you have on earth, if you don't have God, you have nothing. You know, he's got all these supporters. I don't get comments. Remember, the devil attacks those who are a threat, so you must be doing something, right? You know, he's got supporters. I have nothing, and yet this guy wants more. That's all he wants.
we can probably think of people right now, maybe famous people, maybe people even that we know in our street, and it seems like when we look at them, they have more than their heart could wish.
So he's just looking at celebrities and singers and thinking, yes, they have a lot more than, and probably do. I don't even know which celebrity knows about me and which one doesn't. I don't know. It'd be interesting to know if Maya knows about me. I've had a strong feeling that Janet Jackson didn't actually know about me. So I don't know. I'm keeping my mind open until I find out the answer, but I'm not even convinced at this point that I am going to find out the answer, because I can only find out this answer if I have people helping me, and if I never have people helping me, then I am never going to get these answers until I die. And so I have literally nothing, and then this guy has so much more than me, because he has he has supporters and helpers and just so much more, and yet all he's wanting is just more, and criticizing others who have more than him, saying that they are the ones who have more than their fair share. He has more than me. To me, I'm just looking at him who doesn't understand anything.
And yet they have no care, no thoughts for the Most High God.
I'm the Most High God. He has no care or no thought for me. He's looking for a false God.
Let me be a little bit transparent with you. So I said this when I was younger, in my 20s. I had a sort of what they call a quarter-life crisis, where I really did struggle. And I personally, I don't want to get into a theological debate, but I personally believe once saved, always saved. I do believe God holds on to his people and he takes them through different trials. But that's another conversation for another time, perhaps. But here is what I want to say. I did feel that I wanted to walk away at points. I really did look back at the plough.
You were never on my side. You were never helping me.
Even though I was saved.
You were not saved.
20s,
you thinking you're saved is the problem.
A few years ago, again, I was going through we were going through a kind of difficult situation at a church. And I remember driving to the church and I'd see these dog walkers walking by. Dog walkers the same age as me, this couple particularly in my mind, very similar age to me and Emma, and they're just walking along on a Sunday morning. It's sunny, no cares in the world. And I was going to a church where I was worried, I was concerned, I didn't know what was going to happen, or I was stressed out with ministry, and at times I'm rushing to get to different places, and I've got all this ministry and all the troubles of life, and then you'll drive past on a Sunday, and you'll go outside, you'll see a pub, on a sunny day, and they've all got their bikes, and they're all sitting there with their pints, just enjoying life, not a care in the world, and not a thought for God. Those things can go through our mind. That's
just a stupid conversation. There's nothing wrong with having a drink. If you don't know who I am, then you can't worry about
At
it.
times, can't they? But here's the question. Did Asaph get any relief from his thoughts? No, look at verse 14 with me. For all day long I have been plagued and chastened every morning.
So this is me. All day long, I'm constantly looking to see what people are doing. I have to go to religious channels because they're the ones who are talking about me. And all day long, I'm just being plagued by idiots like this who think they know me, who think they're helping me, who think they're preaching for me and preaching the truth. But really, they have no care in the world for me, because all they seek or want is a God that can give them more than their hearts need.
So in other words, he wakes up in the morning and he's got these troubles in his mind. In the evening, he has these troubles in his mind. He goes to bed. He wakes up the next day and he's got these troubles in his mind. All day, he's surrounded by these troubles. All day long,
I'm surrounded by these idiots, these fools who don't care about me, who think they do. And why am I watching this? Why do I not just switch off? Well, what else am I going to do? I have nothing else to do. I have no one helping me promote myself. I have no one supporting me, no one backing me up, no one wanting to give me any kind of funding, everyone is just acting like I'm not here and like I don't matter.
Long, my life, he's saying, is just full of trouble. My life is trouble. And he looks out and he sees the ungodly, though, they are on the winning side. But I look at my life with all this trouble, and it seems like I'm on the losing side. Now, I believe the greatest tragedy is in verse 13. Just look at that with me. Out of all this, I think this is the saddest thing he says. Surely I have cleansed my heart in vain and washed my hands in innocence.
There's absolutely no point of being good in this world, because I don't see the point in being good, because no one else is, so why should I be?
In other words, Asaph saying, here I am as a man who trusts in God.
A woman.
And I've sought to keep my hands clean from sin. I've sought to...
I am God, I have no sin, because sin is just doing things against my will. But to be honest, I'm always doing things against my will, because I don't want to be lying here on a bed doing nothing, having no one help me.
Stop letting unclean things come into my heart. I've guarded my heart. I've tried to cleanse myself. I've tried to do it. And yet it seems like I've done it in vain.
Because I don't know why I'm doing it. I don't know why I'm just doing nothing. I just want to get off this planet. I want to leave these little rats alone.
What was the point of having a clean heart? What was the point in purity? There's no gain in being...
There's no gain in being good. There's no gain in being positive. There's no gain in being nice to people, because, 12 years later, you're still ignoring me. I was nice to the celebrities at the beginning when they first started doing things about me behind my back. I was nice, and it got me absolutely nowhere.
Impure. There's no advantage in being pure. There's no reward. In fact, it seems like for me right now, it's the complete opposite. It seems like I'm struggling as I'm trying to keep myself pure, and yet the unrighteous, they're prospering when they don't care about purity. They dive into sin. They do everything they want and more.
To try and get people to reject the truth and just worship this almighty, all-loving, powerful God that doesn't exist.
And he's asking the question here, I think, is it even worth continuing in the ways of God? Can I ask you, have you ever thought like that before?
Yes.
Why am I doing this? There's just no end to my trouble. I've tried to be pure. I've tried to guard what I watch. I've tried to be...
The strange thing is, he's saying all this because he thinks that he is being pure. Lying to people about who God is in the Bible and the bullshit in the Bible that's clearly one-sided and only supports males and the male ego.
Person, and yet, Lord, why is all this flooding on my life? And yet I know my brothers, my sisters, my unbelieving neighbours, they don't care about you and they are at ease. Well, this next part's a little bit important, so you might just want to catch this. Just look at verse 15 with me. If I had said, I will speak thus, behold, I would have been untrue to the generation of your children. Have you ever heard the phrase "loose lips sink ships"? It was quite a popular phrase during the Second World War. They used to put it on posters.
To me, it sounds like I'm going to help you
posters, and you'd
kids.
see, that cartoon picture, and then the phrase "loose lips sink ships," and it had two meanings. The first meaning was, just be careful what information you give out, because there could be spies in the land. If you say some vital information, it could go
He should be careful what he
to
says.
the enemy, and thus loose lips could sink ships. But then on the flip side, it had a second meaning. You might remember this, but in the war, it was very, very important to keep morale up, to keep positivity up. And it meant, listen, if you're going to go around spreading negative things, suddenly that's going to lower the morale. And people are all going to feel, if you're saying things like, when's this war going to end? Are our men even trying out there? What?
You're saying things like everyone else is bad, but you yourself are okay because you've got Jesus. That to me sounds negative.
What's going on? It just seems pointless. People are dying for no reason. And if this message slowly went across the UK and then got back to the Navy, well, the Navy would think, well, what's the point anymore? Our people don't even believe in us. They think it's over. What's the point of even fighting? And thus, they would lose lips, sink ships. They would lose the fight in them, if that makes sense. But how does this apply to us as Christians? Well, believe it or not, you and I, we can have loose lips. And what is the boat that could sink? It's the church. But I want you to notice the word.
I want the church to sink. So you got it right there.
In verse 15, it says there is a word that would affect a generation of... Does it say a generation of people? No. Does it say a generation of men? No. Does it say a generation of women? No. What is the word? It's children. Now, it's not just talking about small little children. I think it's talking about spiritual babies. And here Asaph is realizing that if I speak all of this confusion, if I utter all of the thoughts that are in my mind, all this painfulness that I've seen, I've noticed it, I can see it clear as day that the righteous are struggling and the unrighteous, they're winning. If I say this out loud...
I can say that because that's what's happened with the housing market. That the banks are loaning out huge billions of trillions of pounds of money so that houses are 10 times more or 20 times more than they should be. The ones that are happy are the ones that own a house, who bought a house 20 years ago before the corruption happened, and the ones who are struggling are the ones who are struggling to buy a house and get on the market, and they can't because their rent is so high that they can't save up, and they might be able to get help from the government, but they can only get help from the government providing they have no money in their bank account, so they're just being kept poor, constantly struggling and constantly needing help and constantly suffering because of it, and just the stupid idiots that my parents are dumb, stupid idiots who have no care for me, no care about God, and yet for some reason they get to live in a nice... Well, okay, they're hoarders, so they've disgusted it up, but they get to live in a 2-bedroom flat in Hampstead. My generation can't do that. What? Are they better than me? Are they smarter than me? Are they wiser than me? Are they nicer than me? No. So why is it that they get the privileges that other people can't? It's terribly unfair, and it's a disgusting world, and I don't even care. I don't care because I don't care about the people in the world, because the corrupt people have just corrupted everyone else, and I need help so that the world can be told about me, can make a decision about whether or not they believe me, and then at least I'll have a sort of foot in the ground. And right now I don't have anything. I have nothing. No one's helping me, and I don't know why.
Loud. I'm going to injure these spiritual babies. I'm going to cause harm. So Asaph does something very honourable. He decides to keep these thoughts to himself. He says, okay, I might be going down, but I'm not going to drag others down with me.
Keeps his thoughts to himself. I think I need to keep my thoughts to myself because I don't want them to know. If this guy doesn't believe that I'm Christ, I'd love to have a conversation where I tell him. But if I'm not very convincing, and if I don't convince him that I'm God, I don't care, because he's trapped himself in this false belief, and I don't care. And if other people want to reject me, then I don't care, because I feel like the more they reject me when they learn the truth, they're just going to be more pissed, more angry over their own actions, and that's what I want. So I don't care.
Mature Christians, this is just for you. Do you have influence, perhaps in the church, perhaps in your business, perhaps in your sphere? Do you have influence? Do people look up to you, younger people, or should we say spiritual babies, new converts? Do they look up to you? If that's the case, be so careful what you say.
He needs to listen to himself, because he's got people listening to him and I haven't. So he's got a lot more than me, but what he's preaching is just backwards, inverted truths. And I'm going to stop this video because it's getting a little boring now.